Hello, my brothers and sisters on the Dragon's Path. Draconic Wicca in itself, or the Path of the Dragon, is a left-hand spirituality. Left-hand spirituality not being called like this for no reason. Left-hand spirituality is what you follow if you follow your own instincts and your own intuitions. Because your own intuitions, I've been raised Catholic, and in a Catholic way back in the day, whenever you use your left hand to write something, you're immediately like, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Use your right hand, just like everybody else. Don't do that. That is bad. Why is it bad? Because it's a form of rebellion. Whenever you use your left hand, it's a form of rebellion, because everyone has to do the same, like on the right hand. What I learned is that the left hand is that in not only of rebellion, it's that of spiritual. Your spiritual self is that of the left hand. It is where your heart is. Where your heart is, you use your hand. You use your left hand spirituality. What is also, for example, what is a great example, what is also a form of left hand spirituality is Satanism. Satanism, not bad of course, but Satanism is considered as something bad because it's a rebellion spirituality. Sometimes even people follow Satanism because they don't believe in a God, they don't believe in anything, they just want to go against the crowd. But every form of Satanism, or even other forms of Wicca, is actually left hand. That is why sometimes deities hold up their left hand like this or like this, and like actually also Baphomet, for example. Baphomet is a spiritual entity that says to the people to use your left hand, because this left hand is actually yourself. Whenever you put up your left hand, this is your draconic side, and the right hand is your human side. So actually they should work together perfectly. But that is not what humanity actually loves from you. Your humanity loves that you always use your right, so that they can do with it whatever you want. But if you think for yourself from the left hand, now that is a problem for them. So you have to ditch this. That is what I heard all the time from my childhood whenever I used my left hand. Don't use it, it's something bad, it's something from the devil. Don't. But in fact, they were always hitting on my draconic hand. The draconic hand is left hand wherever your heart is, wherever your desire is. Left hand is also protection, power, courage, change. Whenever you dream of the dragon, most of the time you use your left hand, simply because this is actually guiding you. This is where it is the closest to your spiritual energy, your spiritual entity that you are. So it can be whenever you are dreaming of yourself as a dragon, the chance is so high that you first pick up your left hand and look at your hand and see a draconic hand instead of a human. That will always be a human, and that will be that of the dragon. And that is with every left hand spirituality the same. That is why it's being called left hand spirituality, because like it's not only a rebellious way, it's actually going against what people are saying what you are. Like I said, it's protection. It's also protection. It's a hand of protection. It's a hand of magic. It's a hand of draconic magic. It's a hand where you try. It's the most sensitive part of your body. Your hands are the most sensitive part of your body. Whenever you open it, and whenever your dragon is very close, you might detect them very much sooner with your hand, with the palm of your hand, and especially that of the left hand. The left hand is very sensitive to spiritual power and energies that go close by. That is why it's very interesting to use your left hand, because don't use your right. It's a different energy. This is complete different energy. The other side, you can say, this side of this detects human energy, human power, humans, everything from this world. But if you want to detect the dragon, it's better to use your left hand. This is also the hand of power, the power of the dragon, the dragon's power that lives inside of your left hand. And like I said, there are actually thousands of different spiritualities that are left-hand spiritualities, but humanity prefers not to take it because they, you know, what in my entire spirituality, they say that the dragon's path is something bad and that I shouldn't take it. But that is simply because they said, no, take your right hand. We understand, everyone in the world understands the right hand. Everyone. I understand religious people. I understand whatever they want. They want to understand the power that it gains from the right hand. Right hand is religion. It's power. It's control. It's taking it over. It's human. Um, but the left hand is completely different. That is what they don't understand from it. The left hand is what they don't. It's mystical. It's connecting with with the angels by your side. That is the hand that the angel will take, and to come along to the dragon realm. This was the hand that they took from me. Whenever the dragon said, "I'm going to teach you how to go to the dragon realm. I'm going to show you the dragon realm." And whenever I go to the void, the Leviathan took my left hand and took me along with it. So whenever I was split in two, the left side was gone and the right side was still there. The right side still worked, still was having their daily lives, while the left hand was that of the dragon, was completely transformed into the dragon. And I was split in two. This is also the hand of courage, the courageous hand. That, of course, whenever people say no, you should be sure and take the right hand, and so be sure of what you are doing. Well, actually, this is not a hand where you are sure of. You have to experiment with this. This is also the hand that predicts the future, because inside of this hand lies so much energy that some people can even predict the future from it and even see the dragon inside of that hand. And of course, this is the hand of change. This is inside of it. It lies the claw of the dragon. Whatever you shouldn't be afraid of on the dragon's path is change. A change, because in left-hand spirituality, change will happen. That is something that should happen eventually on the dragon's path. Change will happen inside of in your spirit, in your mind, in your soul, even in your body. Everything will change on the dragon's path because simply it's a spirituality of change. You shouldn't be afraid of it. Whenever you are dreaming of something, like I said, whenever you are dreaming of dragons, the first thing that you will use is your left hand, because you here in your left hand, no one knows how you will use your left hand. That is why people from that wants to control you are so afraid of the left hand. The left hand is actually that of uncontrollable, they don't know where it goes. And whenever you are writing with your left hand, it's like, don't. It really happened. It really happened. I've seen these poor children in the class where I was, and they was writing with their left hand, and it's like, no, don't, it's bad. Why? No, just it's bad. Why? Yeah, like I said, left-hand spirituality can also be considered as Satanism, but Satanism, is that bad? Is Satanism something bad? I don't know. I don't follow Satanism. I don't follow anything from religious things or something anymore, at least. But I can see it as that I learned it that left-hand spirituality is in fact that what they do not understand. They do not understand this hand wherever it goes. This is a mystical hand. Even in other religions like Hinduism, left hand is actually seen as something divine. It's a divine power. It's actually the hand that connects with the gods. That is what connects with humans here on earth. That is what connects with the dragons in our case. That is what connects with Tiamat and Leviathan and Quetzalcoatl and all of the dragon gods, this is the hand that should detect them as well, the hand that detects your dragon by your side. And that is why it's being called a left-hand spirituality. A lot of people actually are a bit like confused when I say the dragon doesn't make choices, but the dragon at the same time is a left-hand spirituality. So, but the left-hand spirituality is not actually the choice what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about with left-hand spirituality is that it's your left hand, it's your left side, it's where your heart is. Your heart does things that humans do not understand, but they shouldn't understand as long as you understand, because it detects the left hand, the left side of yourself, detects the dragon much more easy. And that is why sometimes deities from left-hand spirituality use their left hand all the time, so that they don't actually they show it actually what is actually the hand of magic, what is the hand of manipulation, and what is the hand of rebellion. That you should release yourself from all of these oppressors and not be afraid to use your own power. Your own power here. There is no power here. There is only knowledge of what you see. But here there is the power and knowledge of what there is much more inside of you, and which in our case is that of the dragon. So actually your left hand is the dragon's claw. The dragon's claw that you can connect with all of the gods and guardians and even the angels by your side. It cannot be, sometimes you can detect them with both hands, but it's all coming from actually the left hand. And that is where it comes from. Left hand spirituality is rebellious, but it's who you are. It's who you really are. And that is where it comes from. That is why I sometimes say the dragon's part, or Draconic Wicca, is not like Wicca. Because Wicca, normal Wicca, with the god and the goddess and all of these stuff, is in fact right-hand religion. Right-hand religion next to Christianity. Wicca, even though it's a nature religion, nature spirituality like ours, but we do this by ourselves. We need to detect and know where our path is going, while that of Wicca, normal Wicca, is a path that is already established. When we begin, our paths still need to be made by ourselves. And how to make it, to detect and to know where your dragon is, and they will tell you how your path will go, and you have to agree with this, how your path is going, because this is not established at all. This is something that you need to see for yourself. Your left hand is pure power. Your left hand is pure manipulation. Your left hand is who you are. Your left hand is that of the dragon. So yeah, whenever you are, like I said, whenever you are dreaming of using your left hand, it mostly have a deeper meaning. It means that your dragon is close and they want to connect with you. Your left hand offers so much answers to questions you might have. But in general, the dragon's path is seen as a left-hand spirituality simply because it's not connected to humans by your side. Your left hand is completely connected to dragons.